He's here to sink his teeth into tired event formats. It's Event About It with Marc Ghafoori. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Event About It. I'm your host, Megan Martin, and our guest this week is best known for challenging the status quo of event design and inspiring teams to think smarter, faster, and bolder. He's here to take a bite out of boring event formats and show us what innovation really looks like. Welcome to the studio, Marc.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
I'm so glad to have you. We have connected over so many things: passion for the industry, advocacy, pushing boundaries, doing all kinds of innovative things. One thing that you did recently that I love is you built the first business events video game. So tell us more about that.
Let me start off by saying I am not a coder. I am not a video game developer. So if you go into this thinking it's going to be like the next, I don't know, fantastic
Minecraft,
thing.
you're not building Minecraft?
No. I mean, graphics wise, it might compete with Minecraft,
All right.
but that's about it. Not even. No, I had this idea of, I don't remember who I was talking to, but I'm like, there needs to be a game for us, like some stupid thing you can scroll on your phone, you can do like while you're waiting for a train or a plane or whatever as you're going to somewhere, and just lets us be seen. So that's basically what it is. It's very stupid. It looks like I don't know, Space Invaders meets I don't even know, something.
Well, your stat
But
in here says
really
100% of people said it was dumb, but also like Farmville is dumb,
yes.
and they made millions of dollars on Farmville. So
I'm not looking to win millions of dollars off of this product, I will say. It was vibe coded while I was watching Netflix one night, and that's how it was born. The feedback from people that were like, that really liked it, and that also were really confused by the whole thing also, like right out of the gate, which I learned something about myself. I can't just like throw some random game at people without some intro, and that's why I'm not a game developer.
People need context.
Yes. Yeah. But what was interesting is a majority of people said that it felt like their real life of planning, which I found really interesting because I wasn't expecting that.
Well, it must be chaotic and beautiful at the same time then, because that's life we live.
Yes. And over caffeinated. Like there's this like dueling, like there's this dueling aspect of it that is you're trying to consume as much coffee as you can, but without getting too tired and over caffeinated, because if you do, then you're going like a light speed, 1,000 miles an hour, and you end up dying. But there's weird strategies for each different level that I found through just talking with people who were using it. So I don't know. It was unexpectedly interesting. And I just built it as like a pet project for myself because I'm like, I have to get this out of my head and into the universe, whether anyone finds enjoyment out of this.
Oh, I love it. Well, that's the beauty of vibe coding. Anyone can create a video game as we're learning. Amazing. Okay, well, we're going to play a game today called Tooth or Dare. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to throw out a few spicy event industry questions, and you can either tell us the tooth, total honesty, no spin, or take the dare, which might be a little embarrassing, but in true event fashion, it's totally chaotic and fun. All right, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yes.
First question. What's the most overrated buzzword in events right now?
I think I'm going to steal from some other guest that you had on because it is so pertinent, but it is AI driven, AI insert blank, because I'm like, just stop talking about it. Everybody's using it now. Like it's just, we've crested the wave of like when everybody is talking about AI, and now it's crashed, and it's like, we are all doing it. We don't need to talk about it anymore. Just I want to eat the hot dog, not learn how it's made, kind of thing.
Totally. And I think for the AI point too, like at this point, we want to learn application. Like we know what AI is. Like tell me how to use it better. Like we're all using it now. Agreed. I'm over the AI bubble. Like let's pop it and move on. Let's do it.
It's just another tool. It's something in my tool belt. Just like email. We don't talk about. We have email now. We're using email for our communication.
Oh, I love that analogy. It's a great one. Okay, who's one event professional you'd actually want to switch jobs with for a week?
Can I cheat and go back in time a little bit.
Yeah.
So I would say my father-in-law,
Mhm.
who was like an account executive on the GSC side, I would love to go back in time as a GSC because there were no cell phones. There was a fax, past a certain point in time, but like basically if you wanted to go home and not talk to anybody, they had to have your home phone number. And if they didn't have that, they couldn't find you. So like it was hitting the fan if it hit the fan, and it was not your problem if you weren't there. So the level of disconnect, I'm envious, and also the liquid lunches were real back in the day too. Like I
So
don't
Mad
partake
Men
in drinking
style.
really anymore, but kind of, yeah. It was like that was fine. It was the norm. It's like okay, like let's get a little bit of that back in our lives, can we? Like
I
that would be
think,
fun.
I mean, to that point, I think it was fun. Like they sprinkled in fun. There was more fun and enjoyment.
Yeah,
Maybe there was
yeah,
less pressure on it, but there was more play and
yeah.
fun involved with work then, where it's like
Less
gotten so
rigid.
stuffy. Oh,
Yes,
rigid. That's a great word.
yes,
Oh, I agree.
yes,
Oh,
yeah.
I would agree with that. I'd like to go back to event planner of like the 80s when you could
I mean,
disconnect.
don't get me wrong. It's terrible and great. There's the good and the bad,
Yeah,
but there's I'll look at the silver lining. I'll look at that
I
part.
like that.
You know,
All right, what's a trend everyone pretends to love but you secretly can't stand?
I really hate like any LinkedIn post trend, like anything, like the toys, the Taylor Swift tag on add-ons, like anything anybody is doing on LinkedIn that's like jumping on the bandwagon. I'm like, kill me now, please. Can this wave push through so we can go back to everything else because I really despise it. And I mean, I'll laugh at maybe the first one, but after that, like it's lost its luster. I can't enjoy that anymore. I
I
just
mean, it
can't.
does get played out. At some point, the trends become like too much and it's not worth it anymore.
What I actually do like is when somebody does an old trend and brings it back forward like that. Like, let's say 6 months down the road, somebody brings one of those toy things back in. I'm game for that. Like, I'm here for
Oh,
that
like
because
the
it's just weird.
AI generator one where everyone was like an
Yeah.
action figure. Got it.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like, I'm okay with that because it's like totally out of the time frame, and you either just came out from a cave, you like climbed out from underneath a rock, or I don't know what got that into your psyche,
Well, I think it
and now
kind of
that makes
goes
me
to
want to
like
like
everybody loves a throwback. I mean, we use that in marketing
that's
all
true.
the time. Like people love a throwback. Even if
Yeah,
it's like a 6 month throwback, it's still fun. Be like, oh, especially with the year end wrap ups coming up. It'd be like, remember that time everyone was an action
yes,
figure?
I I'm here for that. I'm ready for those to come in at the year end. That'll be entertaining.
I just think about the internet like 10 years from now, and like Facebook is going to be like, remember 10 years ago when everyone was action figures? You're going to be like, cringy moment.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh
Next question. Have you ever totally faked enthusiasm for a client idea?
no, actually I haven't.
Okay.
I'll say this. Maybe I did in like my early stages of my career, but like I if I'm not really excited about it, like you can kind of tell. Like
Yeah.
my wife hates me for this. My family hates me for this. Like if they give me a birthday present or a Christmas present, I'm really struggling with smiling and saying thank you. I'm like, I don't need another T-shirt. I don't need another shirt. What is why? Like I'm appreciative and I see the value and thank you for the effort, but like um no, I don't know. I kind of call a spade usually.
I mean, it's always written on my face. Like, even if they're like, oh,
That's the thing,
I
that
don't
first
ever have to
reaction. I'm
think it
like,
because it's already on my face. Like, you already know. I can't hide it.
yeah, that's the challenge. I'm like, I can't fake that, and I've tried really hard, because it's gotten me into some bad situations. I'm sure I can't remember one, but I'm like, my face shows it for sure.
The
Can't hide
funny
that.
thing, there's like pictures, like when you look back, like that, there's one vividly I remember. It was at my sister's wedding, and I'm looking back at these pictures, and like I'm not even speaking, but like it's all over my face. Like someone said something at the reception, and like the photographer got like the perfect moment, and it's like the shadiest side eye. So bad. So
Oh,
bad.
oh no, just perfectly ingrained in, and if it's in the
Yeah.
wedding album, wedding book, it's there forever. It's
Thank
never
God
coming
it's
out.
not, but it is on the internet now, so there's that. I love that. Okay, your proudest "I told you so" moment.
going back to my previous life as a GSC, when I was overseeing creative production, so like printing graphics, installing graphics, and things of that nature. We had a show that was going into the Dallas Convention Center, and I remember they had these like fat railings that were like chrome, and we were trying to do like a saddle style banner, like it goes over one side and off the other. And my one of my leads at the time was saying that it was going to be sufficient to just put some double face tape across the top, and then just like that's going to hold it, like along with hopes and dreams. um I said, one, it's going to damage the chrome, and two, it's not going to hold it. And fight back and forth, early career, so I'm like, whatever, you know better, you've done this longer than me, right? No, it falls down. Thankfully, during install, nobody was hurt. It falls down the stairs, damages the graphics, and it's ruined, and we had to reprint it. And like I said, the double face did not do anything but damage that chrome, and we had to pay for the new graphic and the railing, getting fixed. And
So bad.
that was that was fun. But I told you so. But I'm paying for it, I guess. So I don't know.
Everyone still loses, even though you got the "I told you so"
no one
moment.
wins.
No one wins.
Yeah, I did not want to tell you so. I want it to be wrong, please. Like,
Hey, we've all been there. I totally get that. All right, tell us a time you almost quit but didn't.
The first thing that comes to mind is I'll just say I was in DC. Not going to name the facility. Um, there was a there was an apartment building under construction right adjacent to that, and the dock space was being used partially by the construction crew and shut down for us for that. Again, previous GSC life. And of the two loading elevators, one was being claimed for the construction side too. Cool. Yeah, great. And while we have, we're down to one, and our time is limited on the dock for when we can actually get in and out, because we're in a residential area, of course. And the elevator breaks down on tear out around like, I want to say like 11 midnight, something like that. And it's like a couple of feet below the loading dock level, so at least the person that was stuck in there could still be like fed things that were in there.
But they couldn't get out.
We were like,
but they could still
no, they couldn't get out.
Get supplies.
Yeah, we could give them water. We could give them water and some food, and that was it. And they were stuck in there for like 4 to 6 hours. That was one thing there. Another thing was that we were loading another event in from our equipment for the other contractor that we were subcontracting to. Well, so it was like if you've ever watched the Benny Hill show, like from the 60s or whatever, is like play the theme song for that for the entire duration of the event. And this is all rolling until like 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
And I have a flight at 7 that I luckily got to leave for, and the rest of the team got to continue having fun while I left. But like, I wanted to be done at that point. Yeah. It was terrible. And I almost missed my flight home too. I fell asleep at the terminal and got the last call. I woke up for that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this is the stuff meeting planners have no idea, that like the contractors that we hire, like they take care of all this noise, but your average meeting planner is not thinking about dock space, elevator access. Like they should probably be, but in the nitty gritty details, like this is definitely not the stuff we even think or hear about.
No, and it's all smoke and mirrors. Like if we're doing our job right, then you never know or never see any of these things happening behind the curtain, which is great. But it's also a problem because like if you're only contracting the event space and you're not worrying about the install or dismantle times that are overlapping with the next event and whether or not you can actually physically make it happen, like you get into a really bad place. And like that was also the same show where our Teamsters were in a screaming match with the other crew that was trying to load in their truck, and they snuck in while we were and I'm like, it was like the show of all horrors. I mean, nobody got hurt. We didn't lose money on it. We still made money. The client didn't know about 99% of these things that happened. We definitely told them, can we please move to a different venue? And they said no,
because they're not thinking about elevators or dock space or construction.
No, that's my problem. That's not their problem.
Exactly. Oh God, gotta love it. It's all the team. Well, thanks for playing Truth or Dare. You didn't even take us up on any of the dares. There was some fun stuff in here, but
I know. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It's all good. I think we'll save it for another time. I'm sure we could get some spicier questions to get you to want to dare. But thanks for playing Truth or Dare. And that kind of leads straight into our next segment, which is the vent of the week. It's my favorite therapy session because sometimes the only thing tighter than a load-in schedule is our patience. This is your safe place to let it all out, all the pet peeves, the planning pains. So tell us, Mark, what irks you about the events industry?
Oh, where to begin? Um,
I love that you
I
have
think
so
what
many. You're just like, oh, which
I
one?
do. I'm like, well, like my whole product is like I find all the pain points, then I try to create solutions for all of them. So I'm like, which of the long laundry list of things do I want to select from today? The biggest thing is like trying to find calm in the chaos, and the people just like think that they have a solution and are making assumptions rather than like going to the table to look at all of the things that are laid out in front of them and then making a real plan from there. And I mean, good folks do that. Like I've seen it, but like so many people roll off of assumptions and they don't have good captains to lean on their side. So I feel for them, but they're just like they're making they're making from the hip decisions rather than spending the time ahead of time to actually think through minute by minute of what's going to happen so that they can CYA once they get there. Because like I don't have like a true math or a true calculation for it, but let's just throw it out there. Like there's a 10 times higher cost on site as opposed to making that decision a month ago. And the number of times that I've run into a situation of it's not literally said this way, but we'll worry about that when we get there. And it's like, no, we have all of the things that we weren't thinking about that are going to pop up. They're going to create issues once we get there. Just from a logistical side, it's terrible. But like that assumption that people have on where things are going, how they're going, and how they're going to get it there, create so many down channel problems for folks that I'm just like, please, like, can we do something about that? Can we talk collaboratively? Can we partner? That's the big part, is like being able to bring somebody to the table that is, yeah, you're paying them, and it could be a transactional aspect, but if you bring them in as like a partnership and show them all the cards, um, to be able to plan this thing collaboratively together and come together in one cohesive team, no matter who's paying the payroll. Like if you could do that, then you can tackle all of those MacGyverable problems once you get there. Sure, you also don't have to.
I mean, I stress
You
this with our
don't.
teams all the time that the more you pre-plan, once you get on site, all you're doing is putting out fires because there's always going to be fires. Nothing's ever going to go to plan.
Yes.
Elevators break, loading docks can't get in, you're working till 5 a.m. Stuff happens. But if I've pre-planned, I don't want to be planning and putting out fires at the same time. And so the more you can get all those decisions done ahead of time, you can make clear decisions in those fire drill moments than if you're still trying to solve and troubleshoot at the same time.
Our biggest enemy in the industry is really just time,
Yeah.
because that turns into money, that turns into labor, that turns into everything else, product inventory. Like if you have enough time, you can do literally anything. We've all done weird and amazing things,
Yeah.
but that's only if we have enough time to do it. And as that time window gets smaller and smaller and smaller, your options are more limited and more costly
Yeah.
as you progress. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. Time
Yeah.
is the enemy of the events world because it's not like other projects where you can like push out a deadline. Like there's a hard deadline, like if you're going to get it done or not.
The stages and the process to get to that final decision are like the biggest unknown for a lot of people, and that goes back to the assumptions. They just assume that like, well, there's only like 3 gate checks. There's 3 decisions that need to be made, and there might be for them, but there's maybe 15 other vendors that are coming in to weigh in on that process. Calls, coordination, like true time and effort that has to go into it. So if you're not doing a work back schedule to come to those 3 checkpoints, you're going to be screwed. You're just going to miss it, and you're going to be staying up multiple days on end and paying the price.
Exactly. Yes. Give yourself enough time. That's the moral of this story. And the vent that
Yes.
we don't have enough time in this industry. I love that. All right. So last up, it's time to event about it. It's the part of the show where you get to spill the tea on a memorable event moment. The event fail, the unexpected chaos, and the are you kidding me moments. No filter, and we want to hear it all. So, what's your story? You've already shared a couple that are pretty crazy, so give us one more.
Can I talk about the RFP process instead of an
Yeah.
actual event? Because I feel like that's a recurring moment. That's a recurring event in the planning process where I'm
Gosh,
like,
procurement is
s-
the bane of my existence. So please, yes, tell us a
yeah,
horrible
yeah.
RFP
Well, so
story.
that's everybody's story. And I'm like, I feel like it's through an overdependence on like some tech or some piece of software that's like doing it. And so here's the thing. There's this game that we all play. It's I've got a budget and I don't want to tell you. And also I know all of the information, but I don't want to tell you all the information because I feel like you're going to be like a slimy used car salesman. Sorry for all the used car salesmen out there, but slimy used car salesman that's going to come and like try to like steal my liver. And what most people don't understand is that the vendors just want more information so that they can give an accurate picture. Um, Most of the time when you see like a 20, what is it, like a 27% markup is what the average is for uh, uh, estimate to a final invoice in the industry, and it's like that's caused by that like gray territory and ambiguity. So I'm like, um, I love it when somebody sends me a redacted invoice from the last like year to 2 years, because then you know how things have changed from the years, from a line item by line item, however they were charged. Maybe it was free, maybe it wasn't. That's for your determination. However you want to capture that. But like what folks don't do is share the information and trust in the vendors that they're bringing in or the partners that they're bringing in, and it creates like all of the issues, all of them. Like if you're not open and honest and communicating that, I'm like, what are you doing here? We're all here to build human connections for our stakeholders, so we should be doing it too, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you have to
I
do
don't
that with the
know.
vendors you work with too. I mean, it's
Yeah,
the more
yeah. I mean, if
transparency.
you're like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Backdraft, but there's a line in there where like there's like the two brothers, and the one's like, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, and he just picks it up and carries it, and like that's what rolls through my head every single time. I'm like, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it, come on.
Do you have a crazy RFP story, like a time where you got an RFP, it wasn't enough information, and what happened? You went back to them and they were just like,
Oh,
no, guess, like give us a story, an
so
example.
I think it falls in your line of that like same 27% markup, but I think we ended up doing like a 40% markup, which sounds ridiculous, but like we weren't trying to like stick it into them and twist it. Like we were communicating through the process of where we were and what was happening, but it was like they weren't making decisions to be able to actually align with their RFP. The things that they had in their RFP were like night and day to where we actually ended up on the final show. So like they didn't know what they wanted in the RFP process, which is fine because sometimes you just want a partner that can like, I don't know, for the McDonald's menu, how much will this cost me if I end up ordering that later? But their budget was not not communicated. So we're sending pre-show estimates. We're sending estimates as we're going through and having the line items tally up, doing the good vendor part as much as we could. Um, but you can't stay on top of on-site changes as much as you want to. And then by the time that those came around, we had like this heart-to-heart conversation on show site, and they're like in tears, and they're like, how do I justify this to my VP that this price increase is this much? And we're like, here's what it is. Like, if we can help you with this, let's figure it out. But like, I can maybe exchange that for a multi-year contract to reduce some of these costs so that we can water down the losses that we're gonna have to do. And it was that. It was like we finally broke through to like have that open and honest conversation on both sides, and we just like wanted to come to the table so that something could like be real, and like we could find a real solution instead of the bullshit like just veiled smoke and mirrors thing that we were all doing before that. And I felt for him. I'm like, we're really good friends now. Like I'll say that, like the client, the former client, and I, and they're still with my previous place of employment there, and it's a good relationship. And but it went through a rocky patch because just like marriage, a marriage counselor will tell you, you got to be open and honest, and
Yeah.
it's a good relationship takes work.
Yes. I mean, and just be upfront with your needs and costs. I mean, you just start out on a much
Yeah.
better place when you are just open about what it is you're looking for and what you're willing to pay for it, because nothing's worse than having a, champagne expectation with a beer budget. Like nobody wants to work. It's so much harder to work from that place than being like, I want champagne, but I've got beer, and how do we find the happy medium? Like where do we find the course banquet medium, like a fancy beer? How do we get I don't know. I don't drink beer, so I don't know a good analogy, but you get what I'm saying.
My favorite analogy is like, okay, like everybody wants a Porsche 911, whether they actually like think through the logistics. I'm not a car guy, but let's just say like you want a sports car, you want the sexy thing that's painted red and has a stripe down the back. But if all you're doing is running the kids back and forth from school and doing a carpool, maybe a caravan is a better choice in the end. I don't have a van, and I'm very much anti-van, minivan, but there are instances when that makes sense. So like if you just turned 16, you shouldn't have a really expensive car. Maybe you need the Honda Civic that you're gonna, total. I'm just saying, like, and that goes for like budgets. Like I see this a lot. Associations see what's happening on the experiential marketing side, like for the corporate side, and they're like, "Oh, I want that. It's so shiny. It's awesome." But they're spending, like 10 million on the general session, and they're spending this and this and this. How can we do that here? And like, the answer is you can't, but you can get aspects of it. If you break down the experiential portion, you could do some of the cool and amazing things, but you're not going to have like somebody skydiving into the general session, no matter what you do for your 200-person conference where they're paying like $100 to be there.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't happen.
That's why the open and honest communication about your budget and expectations are important. I love it. Well, thanks for eventing about it with us. Where can people find Alpha Tooth and Marc? What are you working on? Where can the people find you?
Alphatooth.com. No spaces, exactly how it sounds. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm there pretty much every single day. Having lots of fun there, talking with people. And then I've also got a newsletter that goes out each month. It's called the Member List. Jump onto that. There's no selling, no spam. I send out once a month. I'm kind of bad about sending it out once a month. Sometimes it's once every 2 months. I just take all of the content, all of everything that I've produced, and just like push it out into the member list. And then everybody can consume it there in one piece, in one go. And like my whole thing is like stealing the influencer strategy of like pushing out 95% of content just for free, and just like go take it and run with it if you can DIY it. And that's where the member list comes in. It's like just pulls it all together from like AI prompts and videos, podcasts, and all, however you consume information. It's trying to produce that so that you can actually process it. Hopefully that's the goal.
Oh, I love it. Well, head on over to AlphaTooth and LinkedIn. That's where you can find Marc. And that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining another episode of Event About It, where we turn event mishaps into marketing gold. If you enjoyed the chaos, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this with someone who needs a good laugh. And don't forget to head over to eventaboutitpodcast.com. Send us your events and stories to be featured on a future episode. And while you're there, you can catch the Event About It after show for dynamic dialogue with Marc, where we talk about the unglamorous side of starting up, why advocacy still matters, and what he really thinks about today's innovative event formats. Until next time, keep growing, keep laughing, and keep eventing about it.